Alright, and welcome back to part 2 of Smark Guys for this week. And once again, we stupidly went over our time for the first half. I forgot to time it yet again, but the good news is we were done. We were done talking about SmackDown. We're going to move on to TNA this week. No pay-per-view or anything crazy going on this week, just this pretty standard Impact for November 4th. Let's see, and just as a run-in, they wanted to remind that Turning Point was coming up. It's on Sunday. It's their next pay-per-view, so we'll be talking about that next week, and we'll review the matches today. The show opened up with Bischoff and Flair coming to the ring.
How exciting.
So I'm just so excited when these guys open the show.
Like, I'll commit to the next 2 hours to see that on
for another thrilling gray hair fest. But anyway.
Bischoff with his gut hanging over his gi, his white hair.
So Bischoff comes out, he was in the gi at the beginning of the show, right? He comes out in a karate gi. And the first thing they say is they want to make a comment that Matt Morgan is officially out of Fortune and Immortal after his actions last week, which was basically speaking out against having Mr. Anderson wrestle with a concussion, and then actually participating in a chain match with Double J taking Anderson's place, and then subsequently getting lynched with handcuffs. But so he's out. He's supposedly out of their group now. They announced yet another match for Anderson to be in this week, which makes no sense because if anyone's been following the angle, he's not there. This is Anderson versus Eric Bischoff for the #1 contender spot against Jeff Hardy at the pay-per-view on Sunday, and that's why Bischoff is in this karate gi, because this has been like a long-running angle in every wrestling promotion Bischoff's been in. They keep saying he's like a 10th level black belt, which is a bunch of horse shit. I'm sure at some point he probably did do karate, but he's not some kind of fucking karate master or anything. So he's out there like, oh, I'm going to fight him and blah, blah, blah. Now, at the same time that goes on, he turns and he notices that the ref,
it's the ref from
last week.
Jarrett, Matt Morgan ref.
Right. Here's what happened, because it was a little bit of a clusterfuck last week. We kind of explained it, but didn't. They had a chain match where Matt Morgan was wrestling Double J, and Double J busted open Matt Morgan.
The ref allowed him out of the cuffs.
The ref allowed Matt Morgan to be taken out of the cuffs, and because of that, Matt Morgan beat the crap out of Double J after the match. Now, they're mad at the ref for doing that. The ref said, no, what are you talking about, Bischoff? That's exactly what I should have done. You know, you're worried about the guy's well-being before you worry about anything else. I actually told Double J that Matt Morgan was out of the cuffs and let me take him out of the cuffs. He wasn't paying attention. He was talking to the camera. Well, Eric Bischoff didn't want to hear any of that. He kicked the ref and beat him up and apparently fired that referee.
Yeah, I mean, this is basically Eric Bischoff like he is his character.
Yes.
It's like him, he's writing the show, so it's like, I'm going to put myself out there and make myself look tough. I'm going to beat up on a ref.
On a ref, of all people. Like.
So, and this is what we talked about last week. We're like, where's Hulk Hogan? Where's Jeff Hardy?
Right.
You know, why even make this group if half these guys aren't going to show up?
If they're not on the show consistently.
Right. What was the point of it? To make Eric Bischoff the focal point, the main heel?
It seems like it. It really does seem like it, because it seems like he's like in charge of everything.
He's the main character in the show.
So.
No one wants to see him.
The announcement is made that Anderson needs to show up tonight. If Anderson does not show up, basically he loses his title shot, and there's nothing, you know, he's basically going to be out of it.
And not to mention the show's like 3 days from then, or 4 days from then, and there's no title match.
We don't know what the title match is yet.
Most of the matches, there's no matches at all.
Well, right? Up to that point, I think they had announced Mickey James against Tara. And we knew about the tag team match of Team 3D against Motor City Machine Guns from last week.
Was it by this show?
But we didn't know. We don't know. You
have to have this show like 2 weeks before and start pushing matches.
And start pushing the matches and promoting. But this is the problem with TNA. Like we've been saying, it seems like their pay-per-views push their show more than their show pushes their pay-per-views. So
it's more important to put over Bischoff than to make matches.
So up next, there's a promo in the back. It's EV2 and RVD yet again. This is the same 3 weeks in a row, same promo, where supposedly RVD thinks there's some kind of traitor in the mix.
I was like going crazy. I know it's someone. I can't trust anybody, but I can rely on myself, but I know someone there.
So Fortune interrupts and says, you guys are a joke, there's no unity, and at Turning Point, one of you guys are going to be gone. Now, up to this point, I had no idea what they were talking about, but apparently they've added a stipulation to this match that's going to be a rematch at Turning Point. It's going to be EV2 against Fortune again, and whatever team wins gets to pick someone from the opposite team to get fired from the company. And you had said that they kind of know who it's going to be.
The rumor is that Sabu is going to be leaving, so that he'll most likely Fortune will win and Sabu will be gone because he's getting ready
to retire.
To leave for a while, I guess at least.
And that guy looks so beat up at this point. He needs some freaking time off.
I'm glad Sabu got another shot at the prime time wrestling show.
Right.
He's a guy that's really under He would actually revolutionize wrestling in the '90s because he was the first one to bring tables into America and stuff like that. So he deserves more credit than he ever got. So at least he got one final run on a national
Plus, he's
show.
a crazy bastard. And
he's fucking insane.
Scars all over his body.
He's crazy,
he's like the real life Zangief.
Yeah.
But anyway, so then as this promo's going on, AJ gets in Rhino's face. Rhino goes to spear AJ, and of course he spears RVD. So now RVD thinks that Rhino is the guy.
It looked horrible too. It didn't even look like.
No, it didn't look realistic at all. It looked like he intentionally meant to spear RVD.
It was actually like it was funny to watch. It was just like, what did I just see?
Yeah.
RVD's like.
So now, obviously, that's going to set up that later tonight there's going to be some crazy shit going on between RVD and Rhino, but we'll get to that. So then it cuts to the announce team of Taz and Mike Tenay. And supposedly they're on the phone with Anderson. And they're like, Anderson, are you going to make it here tonight? What's going on? He's like, make it here tonight. He's like, I'm at home with a concussion. I'm actually going to go to the Mayo Clinic now to get a checkup because I'm not supposed to be doing anything physical and all this stuff. So
unless you go to like a clinic, when can you go to like a doctor's and have like coverage from TNA?
Yeah, because TNA probably doesn't pay for health insurance.
So you go to the free clinic.
Go to the free clinic. They're going to give you some more Band-Aids for this giant gash on my head.
Don't wait in line for 3 hours with the people that don't have insurance.
So it's just a little thing. So you know Anderson's not going to be on the show. So you know something's going to happen. There's going to be some twist or some swerve by the end of the show.
They were kind of hinting that he might come in, though. It was weird.
Nah, you knew he wasn't.
So they had that part with the microphone and all that.
Well, that was, there was a part where
weird.
there was a backstage interview later on in the show, and the microphone dropped from the sky. I have it here somewhere, but...
Yeah, just talk about it now. It was. What was the point of it?
There was no point whatsoever.
So you're like, oh, is he coming out then? No?
I don't know. I really have no idea what the point of that was. Some idiot wanted to get his thing on TV.
You're like, oh, the mic's not... Yeah, it was almost like they were trying to make like a shoot like backstage thing.
Right.
Almost.
It made no sense. Alright, so then there was another promo where Angelina Love is seeing Katie Lee in the mirror, but she's the only person who sees her, so it's like, how are you going to push a wrestler who doesn't exist?
I don't know.
So, I have no idea where
remember when the Ultimate Warrior was in WCW when they used to do this?
No.
You were watching
I wasn't watching.
That was horrible. You were lucky because that was horrible. They did the same exact thing. It was Russo Bischoff basically booking that.
Yeah.
And it was like the Ultimate Warrior. Holy would like everyone would leave the room. Holy would be there. And you'd see the Ultimate Warrior in the mirror. And you'd be like,
what the fuck?
He'd like piss himself. You'd be like, oh no.
What the fuck?
It was the same exact thing. So these guys just like they know what they know. And that's
oh my god. So it's all right. I didn't even know that. That's horrible. So we don't know where that angle's going. Up next was a singles match: Sarita versus Velvet Sky. What you can tell from this match is that Sarita is a much better wrestler than Velvet Sky, ends up pulling off twice as many impressive moves.
Well, this guy, where she tries, like you can tell she really tries.
She tries. She just
doesn't have it together.
She just doesn't have the training right now to get a good match going.
She works hard. You can tell she's tried her best.
Sarita once again gets a nice Tiger Bomb at the end. I like that as a finisher. That's a nice Tiger Bomb she pulls off. Gets the win, clean win. So up next, there's another backstage promo with Fortune. Now in this one, Doug Williams and Kazarian get into an argument. Now, if you remember last week, Kazarian was supposed to be in a tag match, but Doug Williams kind of interjected himself into the match. So this has been like kind of brewing.
So you always do this crap. I hate that. Just like this, constantly.
Doug Williams?
Yeah.
But she's adjusting his wrist.
He always does it like all the time. I think he's a really good wrestler.
His wrist need adjustment.
I think he's excellent, but it's just like, okay.
You think they should get some oil or something?
Do it like once. Do it like twice or something.
I think that's what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start walking around like this and just go like this all day and see what happens.
That's like Randy Orton doing this shit like throughout his entire match.
Should have Randy Orton just like walk out for a backstage promo and just start doing this during the interview and be like, and then when I face Cena for the title at the next pay-per-view.
He's always doing this. It's like, alright, bro.
So
he's
anyway,
really good. He's a great wrestler, though.
Basically, they get into a disagreement, and Flair says, we're going to do this like we used to do it back in the day with the Horsemen. We're going to settle it in the ring. So tonight, it's going to be Doug Williams against Kazarian in a one-on-one match. Up next, there was another weird match. It was Generation Me and Tara teaming up against Ink Inc. and Mickey James. I didn't know that Ink Inc. was supposed to be faces.
Yeah, they are.
But I guess they're faces, and that was an okay match, back and forth, standard tag team stuff. I don't know, the women in there kind of threw it off a little bit, but...
Well, I want to talk about Tara a second, because wasn't this storyline with Tara that, like, Madison Rayne brought her back, and then she won the belt, and then Madison took the belt from her.
Right.
So shouldn't the tension be between her and Madison and
Tara?
Yeah,
right.
Now that shit's all out the window, and now it's just like, Tara's just mad at Mickey James.
Well, it's pretty obvious. It's because they're the two best women wrestlers in the company, and they want Mickey's first real match to be a good match. Is what it is.
It should be an excellent match, by the way. But if you know that's what you're building towards, then build towards that.
But I think that they don't want to have like Mickey go straight after Madison and make her look like shit because she's the champion. They want to have a good match first.
They're not even like Madison's not even on the show. So
yeah, she wasn't on the show.
So fine, have the match between Nikki and Tara, but show some tension, maybe some backstage thing, something that shows there's tension between her and Madison.
At least that the champion is still on fucking TV. I guess that would make sense.
She's not even on the pay-per-view.
She's not on the pay-per-view and she's not on the show, so maybe she's on vacation.
Maybe you should have kept the belt on Tara then.
Maybe they should just fucking fire half the women and just actually get people that can wrestle if they want to do women's wrestling.
They're out there. There are people out there that could.
I don't know what else to say. So anyway, now there's another weird promo. Oh, by the way, I have no idea who even won that match. I don't remember. Was it Ink and Mickey James, I think? Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
I didn't even write it down here.
Tara's wearing a shirt that said Cougar on it, so she's like, I'm old, I guess.
Yeah, she's like, I'm old, but I'm still hot. And everyone's like, but you were never hot. Your face looks like a horse's ass.
Oh,
but
that's not.
It's true, though, but anyway.
She's pretty good looking.
Okay.
She's better, but I'm not.
She's like fucking 6'7". She's like a giant. Anyway.
I just thought, my point is, it's odd that she would be like, I'm old, by saying that she's a cougar.
That's the new thing. Like,
it's
cougar is cool to be a cougar now. A MILF.
Okay.
So then it was a really weird promo of OJ and Eric Young at a shrink.
Oh, fuck.
And this actually happened several times during the show. They kept cutting back to this. I don't understand it. Again, I guess they're supposed to be like the comic relief of... Like, Santino's the comic relief of Raw. These guys are the comic relief of Impact, but they're not funny.
It's just so ridiculous, though. It doesn't do anything.
I don't get it. I don't understand what the point of it is.
It's a waste of time for everybody. Throw some kind of interview with someone at,
Yeah, do something that's worthwhile. Build someone up. Don't waste our time. There's a promo for the Motor City Machine Guns and how they're going to take on Team 3D at the next pay-per-view for the titles. And again, this is supposed to be Team 3D's retirement match, exiting TNA. And it's a pretty good promo because I think both sides were like, we're better than you.
They were having like a friendly conversation kind of thing.
Right, but it was a respectful, it wasn't like bullshit, it was like a respectful conversation, but then they were like, I don't think you're going to win. And they're like, no, well, you know what, we think we're going to get the best of you. So
it's going to be fun.
It was pretty interesting, the way that they did it.
It makes me think it's not going to wind up that way.
Exactly. It kind of makes you think that there's going to be a swerve at some point. Someone's going to turn or someone's going to do something.
Up until this point, you're kind of like, maybe they are actually retiring, but after seeing that, now you're kind of like, all right. Something's going to happen.
Up next, Double J hits the ring, and just like he did with Kurt Angle previously and said he was going to apologize and then basically crapped all over him, he does the same exact thing with Joe in the ring. It's really like a long promo. It's like a 10-minute long, I hate Joe, I wish I beat the crap out of you more. Then as he's leaving the ring, Samoa Joe erupts, and it's hilarious. I wish I could get a gif of this. Like, he erupts through the ramp. It's like they pushed him on a motor. He's like, doosh, and bursts through.
He seemed like surprised for a second, too.
Yeah, like, he's like, okay. I didn't know I was coming up that fast. Yeah. And then he, like, gradually grabbed Double J.
It took him, like, a second to, like, grab. It was cool.
It was pretty funny. But it was good. It was cool. So he's beating up Double J. Security guys come out. Joe says, F this, beats the crap out of security guys. For the first time in months, finally gets a muscle buster on someone. Thank the Lord. And, so that builds up a match for the pay-per-view. It's going to be Double J against Joe.
Where was Kurt Angle, though? We saw him that one time.
And now he's gone.
And now he's never been on again. But that's something that people might want to tune in to see the progression of that. Because that was probably the best thing on that specific show.
Right.
When he attacked the limo.
When he attacked, they're like, oh, where's this leading? And now it's not leading anywhere.
Right. It's like it's just gone, so...
So that's weird.
Even if they showed him, like, trying to break in or something going on with it.
There's
a reason to, like... It is a storyline progression.
And the other question is Angle like really, is the storyline that he's fired because he had made that stipulation or not? And you can't tell because he's not on the show, so they're not explaining anything.
Right. Just show something where he's trying to come in or try to get involved in some fashion, and they're like blocking him from getting in or something.
Right. So then there's another promo with RVD where basically he says, I'm angry, wah, wah, wah. I don't know why I can't trust anyone, wah, wah, wah.
It's like the hardcore wrestlers, and they're like back to like little
children,
little girls.
And
I can't trust anybody.
So this sets up a triple threat match for the TV title. It's going to be AJ Styles against Rhino against RVD. I have here that basically Rhino hit RVD during the match, which caused AJ to roll him up for the pin.
Quick.
So AJ wins.
Fast,
it was fast.
Yeah.
And so now, of course, RVD doesn't trust EV2 because now he says it's Rhino that made him lose that match and all of this. So Dreamer comes out, they have a back and forth, and somehow they set up a match. RVD and Dreamer at the next pay-per-view. Where that came from, it was like so, even the angle didn't seem like it was going to that. You know what I mean?
It could be a fun match, but I don't know.
I don't know.
It came out of nowhere.
I'm just hoping that they let Dreamer wrestle, because in WWE they never let him wrestle.
He's more involved, obviously, but
right.
It just came out of nowhere now.
Okay, so the next match was Doug Williams against Kaz, which was previously announced in the show, the Fortune versus Fortune internal match.
Ric Flair a lollipop. For
Ric Flair comes out with a lollipop, and he's doing commentary with a lollipop.
He had like the entire 15-minute segment with a lollipop.
I don't want to know why he had a lollipop.
Yeah.
So it's a back and forth match, but then all of a sudden Beer Money comes out, and they start to get distracting both of the guys in this match. So then during the match, James Storm gets up on the ring apron, and as Doug Williams is going back, he bumps into him, which basically kind of startles him, and then Kaz rolls him up for the win, and now there's even more dissension, and they're like, this is bullshit, why did you guys do that, make me lose? So Flair says, no, you know, we gotta calm down, this is gonna be, we're gonna be one, and whatever, we're gonna be, not like EV2, we're gonna be, you know, centralized and resolve all our issues like gentlemen, and then eventually Doug Williams shakes Kazarian's hand, which makes no sense, because wouldn't he be mad at James Storm for interfering in the match? I don't know, but I guess that's just some weird...
Basically, it's the same storyline again, but with Fortune and EV2.
Right.
So the Immortal thing is gone. It hasn't gone that...
Where's Immortal? Have we even seen Immortal together since the first show?
Right.
No.
It should be two sides that are booked strongly, that look strong, you know who's on each side as a viewer. You understand who's on each side. They're both look strong, and you want to see them fight against each other at some point.
Let me put it this way.
And maybe pay money to see the show, because it's booked correctly.
Let me put it this way. If you didn't see the Impact after the last pay-per-view, you wouldn't even know what Immortal is. You wouldn't even know that it exists.
Right.
Because they're not mentioning it. Hogan's not on the show, so no one knows anything about it.
Well, that's what it should be, two sides that are booked well, and that you want to pay money to see them fight each other. Instead, it's like, I don't know, each group is having inner turmoil, and then like that's interesting, and Hogan's not there, and Jeff Hardy's not even on the show, and blah, blah, blah. So.
Alright, so up next was Abyss versus the Pope. Abyss attacks more fans during this match. Now, last week he had kidnapped 2 fans out of the audience.
Too over the top.
This week, he's pulling fans out of the audience and beating them on the ramp. It's not like one. He pulls like 7 dudes, and he's like beating 7 people up. And it's like, what is happening here? So it's all out of control.
It's too much.
So the Pope announces that there's going to be this special match at Turning Point, Pope versus Abyss, but the fans are going to be lumberjacks during this match.
After seeing all of them get beat up by Abyss and no cops, no one stops, just the cops don't come out, nothing. It's like, yeah, I'll sign up for that.
Well, that's because in TNA, it's all hardcore. Even the fans can get involved in matches. Remember that. Any fan
would you sign up to be a lumberjack if you saw what happened?
Sure.
And there's no cops or anything?
Like, yes, I want to be in this match.
He kidnapped 2 fans. The cops don't get involved. Now he's punching people in the... What kind of a waiver do you sign when you go to a TNA event? It's like you might die. It's like signing...
You might have a nail-encrusted 4x4 slammed into your cranium.
You have to sign your life away, and it's a waiver.
Now, I'm going to be honest, John. I missed the last match because they went over the allotted time frame.
Okay, you missed
the whole main event. Because I TiVo these shows, I don't always watch them live, and every week now Impact is going over by like 15 to 20 minutes. I missed the main event.
Okay, so Eric Bischoff comes out because he's supposed to fight Mr. Anderson for the number 1 contender spot.
Okay.
So he comes out. Jeremy Borash is the ring announcer. So he says, "Read this thing I prepared." It's basically like introducing the greatest ever, Eric Bischoff. He's an artist, a musician, blah blah blah.
An artist and musician.
What they should say is
excellent.
He's a no talent hack, piece of crap.
Yes.
Or that's what.
And an author.
That's actually one of the things. It's a best-selling author, artist, all this stuff. And then Bischoff's like, "You're not doing it correctly. You're not saying it correct." So he's like, "What do you mean? Mr. Anderson's not here. It's not, it's not my fault." So Bischoff eventually attacks Jeremy Borash.
What the fuck?
Just like how he attacked the referee.
Oh my god.
He starts kicking him on the ground. So that then leads to Matt Morgan just coming out. He gives the carbon footprint to Bischoff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which looked good. But he immediately runs away. Mm-hmm. Then Flair comes out, and then Bischoff just like gets up.
Okay.
So he doesn't really sell it as his big devastating move. He's like holding himself, but he just kind of gets up, and that's pretty much...
And that's the whole show.
Well, actually, Matt Morgan, after he kicked him, he grabbed the contract and he signed his name.
He signed his name to the contract.
Right. So that means he's in the match now for...
Oh my god. Does he understand that, there's another name under where you sign on any legal contract? That's the person who was supposed to sign it?
Well, Dixie Carter signed her company away by, just signing any paper, so...
Oh my god.
So basically we had an Impact where... How many matches were we? 4 matches?
Something, yeah.
Right before the pay-per-view...
One, RVD and Dreamer. Mm-hmm. The EV2 versus Fortune stipulation. Mm-hmm. First time we heard about that. Pope versus Abyss. And now the title match. And Double
Joe,
J versus Joe. So actually 5 matches.
5 matches were made right before the pay-per-view. And the main match is Jeff Hardy and Matt Morgan. Jeff Hardy hasn't been on at all.
At all. It's only been those cutaway promos.
It's like these 20-second promos where he calls himself like the Antichrist or whatever the fuck it is.
The Antichrist of professional wrestling.
And Matt Morgan who just turned face out of nowhere. So
right.
I don't think people are gonna be buying this show.
I don't see why. Why would you buy a show where the main face supposedly on your entire show just turned face and no one has any confidence in it? If anything, the 2 matches that I would want to see are Double J versus Joe.
Team 3D.
And Team 3D against the Motor City Machine Guns.
And Dream and RVD could be fun, but I feel like it's not.
I just feel like it's going to be, they're going to fuck it. And Mickey versus Tara could go either way. And depending on how far they let them go,
it'll be a good
I
women's match, but I don't know if people care about that.
Especially because it's not for the title.
Right.
So. Alright, so that's it for Smart Guys this week. Pretty much a short one for Impact this week because there's only one thing going on for TNA. But next week we'll have the results of the Turning Point pay-per-view, as well as all the coverage of Impact and the 2 shows for WWE. So that's it.
That's it?
That is it.
Okay.
Oh, I think we had enough of diarrhea shits and...
I just want to say this before we go. Do we have enough time?
Sure.
Okay. There's a leaked episode of NXT that people found on the internet.
Okay.
That has the WWE's producer Kevin Dunn. You could hear his voice like calling things out.
What the hell?
On this episode.
Yeah.
And what's coming out of this, a lot of people are mentioning, is like all the stupid things that they do on this show. This dude Kevin Dunn is laughing his ass off at this like nonsense. It's like juvenile crap.
Yeah.
So it really shows why that company is how it is, because Vince McMahon and this dude Kevin Dunn is the main producer. They think this stuff is
They think it's
funny.
funny.
Just like this, just like the diarrhea dump and all that stuff.
Oh my god.
So that could be part of the reason why.
They just have really odd senses of humor, and they
right.
think these weird things are funny.
Exactly. And then TNA, obviously, it's Bischoff just trying to make himself seem like a celebrity and like this, this grand guy. And I think that's probably the problem with them. So
Jesus.
That's what I have to say.
All right, so that's it for this week's edition of Smart Guys. We'll see you next time.
Okay.